fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
What fi gonna eat no money, what fi at you, eat no at you. Covid money missing, we eat the your little rat you. Use the youth, them money, waste, must a man to statue. Say me like a catch you, but me got in a figure you. Take the spit of money, girl, and say that it's not you. One day the man above end up in my gut up. Too much it in the kitchen, some a fly by like a patu. The singers and DJs and social media's coming at you.
It burn me
300%
It burn me
Garbage pile of it
It burn me
Give the teacher them raise
It burn me
I see corruption face
It burn me
Mash down the people them house
It burn me
Every day appear arms out
It burn me
Appear money them a thief
It burn me
And them a sell out the beach.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
For me say big up all the charities and all of the givers. Some a go like say them powerful, me no make a bigger. The already promises none of them not deliver. Cut up the youth and rap and they down in our fever. Member bold money and they lie them tell. Corruption smell and they pocket them swell. When police don't a market like Satan out of hell go mash up people start like thief when them sell.
It burn me.
Or they treat the market man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the cat man.
It burn me.
Or they treat the peanut man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the dirt man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the son man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat policeman.
It burn me.
How them a treat soldier man.
It burn me.
How them a treat everyone.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again.
Stibby dim day. We in Global TV says certain kind of friend we no keep. And some informer friend we lovely. We in Global, bona fake friend and bona thief. We in Global, we not promote them, we not support them. Look at them on the cheek, come here represent for. We in Global TV. Check it.
Good morning. It is Saturday, the 20th of April. It's the morning after yesterday's ruling, and the country is still in limbo and crisis. It is a constitutional crisis unfolding. No one wants to brand it as that, but literally, by standard of any country, what is happening between the legislature, the executive, the judiciary, and the office of the Director of Public Prosecution, it is certainly an unfolding constitutional crisis. I wonder why one eye America would see the crisis in crime and in health, but not the constitutional crisis. Good morning to One Eye America. Good morning to everyone on the live. This morning, we're only on YouTube, and we're broadcasting on all of our Global TV Group platform on YouTube, which is the Producer Wayne Global TV, the Global TV 358 Studios, and the GTV Group 385. Good morning, all, and welcome. Thank you for joining us. This morning, we're collecting donations. We have a bucket list of items to buy. We need hammer, we need chisel, we need crowbar, we need backhoe, we need a lot of things this morning. Good morning, all, and welcome. Good morning to my community of parity and all my family members. Good morning to all my platform membership holders and subscribers. good morning and welcome. Marcia Esty, good morning. Anthony R, good morning. Kareen O'Connor, good morning and welcome. Thank you for joining us. Natalia Freeman, good morning. Yvonne Johnson, good morning and welcome. Thank you for joining. Sunshine, Charlotte Reed, good morning. Gloria Morris, good morning, good morning. Sharon Bernard, good morning. Jamaican Foodie, Sim Sim, Wagwan, good morning. Annie Smith, Andy Brown, good morning. Good morning, all, and welcome. Joan Brown, good morning. Thank you for joining. Archer Reed, good morning. Violet Watson, Amazing Grace, God at my altar. Annie Smith, OPPS official. Cousin Myrna, Wagwan, morning, morning. Arlene Benbow, good morning. Isilda Williams. Baron Muir, London boy. Good morning, Rena. Good morning, Carleen Richards. Good morning. Good morning, all, and welcome. What an unfolding crisis. What an unfolding crisis. But let me say to any high-flying women in Jamaica, don't enter the dunce competition anymore, my dear. It is a stiff win between Juliet and Paula. There's no space. No way, no left. No challenge. Juliet and Paula have taken over the Guinness Book of Record for dunceness, Marcia Gale. Try to be as barefaced, shameless, and dunce as the Speaker of the House and the Director of Public Prosecution. Just try to be as shameless and as barefaced as those two. You would have thought women in these high-flying positions would at least sought to protect their integrity for the future. Open mind. Diana Mitchell. Don Waits, good morning. You would have think they would have protect something of their profession. Monica Hawthorne, Lennox Reed. But boy, I mean, every day it's a new standard being set. There are some things happening in our political spheres, which has not happened in so-called independent Jamaica. We have not seen it. Our whole heap of firsts were experienced. The country is in crisis. The criminal justice system is in a crisis where the Director of Public Prosecution and the government is refusing to honor a judgment from the court, a judgment clarifying Sonia Smichael, a judgment clarifying the proper mechanism to be applied in extending the tenure of the DPP. But before I go further, let me ask the Gleaner something. Why are you so disingenuous, Gleaner? Why are you so disingenuous? Look at the Gleaner publication. Court ruling doesn't remove current DPP, says AG. That's what that means. Look at whose picture the Gleaner got up there. Isn't this misleading, Mary Messenger TV, Claudia Fletcher? Isn't this to mislead the public like a Derek McCoy, I said them something here. People don't push the like button. Don't be so stingy with no finger. Remember, we have to buy a wrecker, we have to buy a crowbar, we have to buy a chisel, we have to buy a hammer, a whole heap of something we're going to need to remove Paula. We're going to need backhoe, all sort. So no press the like button. Make everybody know so they are talk about the constitutional crisis we're unfolding in America backyard, and America going blind. Imagine this was unfolding in Russia, Iran, or China. The headline, it would be in the American press. But look at the propaganda from the Gleaner. The Gleaner paint a picture as if this recent argument from the Attorney General's office is coming from Derek McCoy. Sorry. Noreen Dennison. Why Derek McCoy picture? What he done said, Delroy Chuck make him stupid, dunce, lack of understanding of the law, or blatantly corrupting the law. Olivine Campbell. And then uno go come out. Debbie, what go on? Then uno go come out. Come put Derek McCoy picture as a representative of what dunce, back a class, frog face Delroy Chuck says. Why is the Gleaner misleading us? What is it? What reason it is for the Gleaner to mislead us upon this? When you hold on up, put Derek McCoy advice under pillow and asleep on it. Put it under pillow and asleep on it. Then you come out and you put Derek McCoy picture on the headline of what was said yesterday, while you should have had Delroy Chuck picture up there. Isn't this misleading and damn right corruption from the Gleaner? Why don't let us talk about Derek McCoy's advice to the Speaker of the House? Rather than I use Derek McCoy's picture to bolster Dunce Delroy Chuck argument, why don't let's talk about Delroy McCoy's advice? Derek McCoy, sorry. Derek McCoy is the one on the screen. Delroy Chuck is the double dunce. Jamaica Labour Party or the Jamaica Looting Party and dunceness are synonyms. I repeat, the Jamaica Labour Party and dunceness are synonyms. You can use them interchangeable. Daisy McKenzie, good morning. The two of them mean the same thing. No, Daisy Magazine, sorry. Sorry about that. The two of them mean the same thing. Dunce and Labour mean the same thing. Because there's a competing for dunceness over there, so it is unreal. The compete with them are complete for dunceness over the Labour camp. It is unholy, unreal. We are going over there, so. I didn't even remember to tell you, but I know most of you have seen it. On the Producer Wayne platform, we are running a poll. We're asking, will Paula go quietly? Some of you have started voting already. continue to vote so we can look at the result of the poll at the end, as well as liking and sharing the live. Send the stream further out to more people. Gleaner, you need to correct this. Derek McCoy never said these things. So don't publish Derek McCoy picture for mislead we. Say Derek McCoy say it. No, those utterances was said by Delroy Chuck. But let us listen to KD Knight. KD Knight, so you fight out people, Paula. To push your American pit bull face in. And now you're fighting vehemently, Paula Llwellyn, to stay there. Who are you protecting? Is there anything coming up to its statutory expiry date, just like we saw with Mark Barnett, where gonna leave it sit down till time has passed? Is it that you're holding on, Paula Llwellyn, to block prosecution, Ronnie Herland, of those from the SSL scandal, who the financial investigators wants to prosecute, but you, as Mark Golden says, is dragging your feet on those prosecution? Why is Paula Llwellyn hell-bent and staying there? Paula is 63. The 65-year-old amendment, as the court ruled yesterday, doesn't apply to you. It applies to DPPs going forward, which means in law, prospectively. What you and them lot is trying to put pan with Paula is retrospectivity in the law. The law don't work in retrospect, Paula. Meaning, when Paula had her extension, Millie McBean, let us read. When Paula got her extension, she got it under the old law. The new law to extend the retirement age of the DPP to age 70 cannot be applied to Paula because she got all her tenure under the old constitution, which says you can retire at 65, but you must get extension, your final extension, I think, before your 60th birthday. So what they're seeking here is to have the law work in reverse, retrospectivity, where the aim of the law here is to work going forward, prospectivity. It's a competing for dunceness in the labor camp and its affiliates. Nobody have any understanding of how things work or what is really going on. Or is it that they understand, but they are clearly corrupt? Is it that they understand? Yeah, she wanted to work. She wanted the law to work in reverse. And law don't work so. If law works so, a government like Andrew Holness is a holder. All right, so today, it's not illegal for you to stand on the street corner and whistle. But it annoyed the government so much that next week the government goes into parliament and legislate that it's illegal to stand on the street corner and whistle, and then it comes into law. And the government wants to use the law to arrest those who were standing on street corner and whistling a week or a month ago before the law. Law cannot work in retrospect like that. Otherwise, government wouldn't have the opportunity to go around and create laws to breach your rights when it don't suit them. Where it suit them, rather. And this is what Paula and Delroy Chuck is seeking to do with the Constitution. But let's listen to KD Knight.
You know what bothers me? What bothers me is, why is it that there is such an insistence, such a desire, such a thirst, which can only be quenched if Paula remains DPP. Why? Why are they going out on this limb for her? Why? There must be an underlying reason. And there's no sparsity of persons who can fill the post. None. It is an odd situation. And quite frankly, I will tell you, it is so odd that it bothers me. And, you know, I don't want to speculate and won't speculate because that would bother me more as to why the extra effort. I am troubled in mind. And Paula should just be graceful. Be graceful, Paula. You had your turn. Remember how hard you fought to get pantry out? Remember? I know how hard you're fighting to stay in. Not right. Have a sense of justice. There are persons in the department who expect to become DPP. But the way you are going, they will find themselves on the retirement list before they can get there. Something is not right in the state of Denmark. Something.
Remember me always a Saturno, we're going to have to salt Paula to get rid of her. Salt her and hang her up over Hankra. You see, KD Knight is of the view that even those who are younger than Paula there now who have ambition to become DPP is going to retire and leave Paula there. Anthony Stewart is a holder. Vernon Mitchell, Sharon Powell. Now, Vernon Mitchell, this is the crisis that if they stand by next week and allow this crisis to unfold for a standstill or a temporary collapse in our criminal justice system, because the director of prosecution is unconstitutional as ruled by the court. Therefore, the office is vacant. So, prosecutor up and down the country wouldn't have the power to proceed if there's not a head in the office, Patrick Godfrey. Will they really allow the system to buck shuffle come Monday morning? We're going to wait and see what could unfold over the weekend or what will happen Monday morning. But who is Paula protecting? It could only be SSL or illicit 6. What are the other major crime and pilfering in our country at the moment that we are aware of, that there could be looming prosecution coming? What else could Paula be protected if not SSL and the illicit 6? Andrew Holness and him like them is meant to have a conference sometime this weekend. We heard Cliff said it. The issue is bolstering the Labour Party or rejigging the Labour Party while everything else in the country is falling apart. Is scandalous, to say the least. Let me explain to you how this issue, and if darkens, how this issue tied all over the Constitution. The 3 major branches of the Constitution is the executive, which is the government, its cabinet, and wider agencies and departments. But the government and the cabinet, Andrew Holness and his cabinet, is the head of the executive. Then you have the legislature, which is the entire parliament. Both the Senate and the House of Representatives is the legislature. The legislature, the major legislature, the elected legislature, is headed by the wife of the Prime Minister, the elected chamber. The other branch of the Constitution is the judiciary, the courts. They are the guardian of the Constitution in the whole separation of power, intertwined, intertangled. I explained the separation of power in one of my, I think last week or so, shows. But the executive here, which is the government and its cabinet, brought a bill to Parliament using the entire legislature to change it, with the exception of the People's National Party, because they've got the majority to vote anything through. The executive using the legislature to amend the Constitution to extend the lifetime of the DPP and to keep the DPP in office unconstitutionally. Patrick Godfrey Fabian, Anderson JP, look at TV. So there you have the legislature and the executive stitching up the Constitution. The court, which is the other branch and the guardian of the Constitution, comes in and say, no, not so. This was done unconstitutionally. It is unconstitutional. Therefore, the tenure of the DPP is null and void. The government, which is the head of the executive now, and the Ministry of Justice, is disregarding or disobeying a ruling from the judiciary. This, by any standard, is a crisis. It's the 3 major branches of the Constitution at odds. The office of the DPP is also a constitutional office with high powers. The Director of Public Prosecution is given a power by the Constitution to step into any courtroom across the island in a criminal trial and take over the trial, stop the trial, or whatever she feels like doing. And no judge or anyone can say anything. There's drilling going above me. I don't know if you're hearing the noise. No one can say anything. BCA Simmet, Michelle Lewis, Wilson. No one can say anything to the DPP. That's the power given to the Director of Public Prosecution by the Constitution. And you have all of these big wigs at odds with each other. You heard Delroy Chuck yesterday telling us that he does not agree with the ruling. Therefore, they're going for an appeal. Let me play what Paula and his legal team said yesterday.
Before we go into it, can you just state your name, title, who you represented, and then you can give us your reaction to this morning's ruling?
Michael Hinton, counsel for the claimants. When we started our solution in this case, the first thing that we said is that the case is not about the scope. It's not about how should we be regulated. It's not even really about the extension of the age. The case is about the rule of law, about establishing a principle that same laws apply to everyone, and that the Constitution needs to be.
Hold on there. And in a Jamaica Constitution alone, hella pop. No, man. 340 of UNO. Depend the producer in Global TV. And only 98 of you press the like button. Me I go sleep on Saturday. Remember me not work on Saturday now. Junker don't work on Saturday. Junker don't work on Saturday. UNO must can hit the like button. Pamela Akola, good morning. How are you? Tell me if when I go hit the like button or if I go back, go lay down. Because lying down is what I do best on Saturdays. So if I go draw me out of my bed, at least, good heavens, hit the like button. If when I did that church right now, when I dig the bottom on a purse to find offering you on a thieving pastor. We're not sending on a bag here. Good morning, Mavis. How are you? We're not sending on a bag here. If we did that church, we know that not dig hard in on a bag to find something, the pastor. So the least we can do is we come out here and mind people business with hit the like button, please.
And we think that's what the process ruling is indicated to say. So we are pleased with the ruling. The result of the court effectively saying that the Constitution requires them to treat everybody the same way and not make special arrangements.
Does this mean now that the DPP will have to step away from office? As of today? And there's no further challenge that she can make?
Well, I don't know what the government will response. We don't know.
Okay. Mr. Paula, what's your reaction?
Well, I'll start in much the same way. We've always said that this was not about slavery, and it's more to do with our fundamental belief and respect for the Constitution. It is also an important statement on governance. A lot of these things can be avoided, if there is respect for the opposition in Parliament. And this matter could have been dealt with by a conversation with the Prime Minister and the leader of the opposition, and which is what the Constitution requires. And if that were done and respect is given, then we wouldn't have this unfortunate situation now where a public servant is being embarrassed. So I regret that aspect of it, for sure. But I believe that the judgment was a good one.
You mentioned that if there was a conversation, there would be no embarrassment. But I'm not sure if this question is for you or for the opposition leader. Would the opposition be minded then to agree on a further extension?
The way a country is run is by people recognizing the role and position of each other, the roles and positions. And sometimes these matters are settled by the leaders. In a room, used to be the Bay Royal, confab, and that is how a mature democracy operates. We shouldn't have to be in Parliament one day summer to pass a law without the requisite respect and consultation being done. And I think this is fundamental to their commentary on that.
Mr. Paula, given this ruling, can we expect to see the opposition challenge, bringing more matters like this in matters where they feel like the government did not, break some protocol or did not consult with them in a way that the Constitution dictates?
We are quite clear. Our role is to protect the integrity, the sovereignty of the Constitution. And anywhere we see violations, we're going to pursue.
Thank you.
Will the court, will interested parties, Carlos Wagwan, distant friend, good morning and welcome. Will interested parties have to take to the court for an injunction Monday morning to prevent Paula from going into the office? Donovan Blake, Don Mel, good morning and welcome. Vernon Mitchell, morning. Is it that an injunction will have to be sought to prevent an unconstitutional DPP, Oliver Rodney, a DPP that does not exist at the moment, who is supposedly prepared to walk into the office on Monday morning? Total disregard for the rule of law. Then how can you trust these people to bring fair investigation and fair prosecution before the court, when it's the very court that they have no respect for the ruling of the court in protecting the Constitution? Who is Paula protecting? Paula could only be protecting the illicit six and those who ought to be prosecuted for the SSL fraud. Paula being the first director of public prosecution in our country means nothing more anymore, because I'm sure what she will be remembered for, Winston Dawkins. She will be remembered as the most corrupt and inept, incompetent director of public prosecution. A charlatan and a con artist is what Miss Llwellyn will be remembered for. The Miss Llwellyn who told us cartel case wasn't the first that I use tainted jurors. It is Miss Llwellyn and her office that is confused between Section 5 and Section 45 of the Firearms Act. If you want to compete with dunceness with Miss Llwellyn, then it's obvious that you are prepared to waste a lot of your time. If you're a high-flying woman in Jamaica and you're going to compete with Juliet or Paula when it comes to dunceness, then you are prepared to waste a lot of your time. Near Bren, good morning. How are you? The biggest part of my problem in all of this is how there is no outrage across the country, given the constitutional crisis. Noel, wagwan, bro. Given the constitutional crisis unfolding in our country, not one outrage from the people on the ground. But the People's National Party ought to be congratulated for their effort in protecting Norman Ferguson, our democracy, and the system of good governance. Patricia, how you doing? Ever since the government got its undemocratic landslide in 2020, we have seen a huge change in the behavior of this government. Sue McDuffie. We have seen a huge behavior. No, sorry. This time of year, everything bad happened to me with the hay fever and all of the little things them were blow all over the place. Mr. Lane Love, good morning. Ever since this government got its undemocratic majority in 2020, we have seen several attacks on our constitution or system of governance. Anyway, in our constitution where Andrew can chip something off. No, the PSOJ don't see what PMP do. And what Labour do. The PSOJ can only see over what Labour do. That's all the PSOJ can see. They are in utter silence. Why don't they come out and call for the DPP to step aside to save the integrity of the office? When it comes to the Jamaica Labour Party and their cahoots, integrity don't really matter, you know. Integrity really doesn't matter. All them I work for is a belly full. Pack your bag, stuff your bag as heavy as you can while you're there. Because by the way these lot are operating, Sharon Robinson, them now look for return to Parliament for a long time. So they will make sure stuff and secure generational wealth, Althea Lacey. But back to the people of Jamaica. Not one outrage. Everybody think say wagwan normal. But thank God for the People's National Party who is really standing up for good governance. Even though disrespectfully, they are still disregarding the ruling of the court to wrath. Since the 2020 election, there have been several attacks on the constitution and your good governance process, as well as your legislative process. During the 2020 general election campaign, Michelle Charles, one of Colonel Charles' thief in Pickney, deployed corrupt practices on the election campaign. An investigation was sparked where the Office of the Political Ombudsman, headed by Dana Parchment Brown, then Rosalie Ricketts, did an investigation and imposed a disciplinary on Michelle Charles. The disciplinary was imposed on Michelle Charles March, I think, Carlos, help me here. I think March 2021. That was after the election and the investigation carried out. Then Donna Parchment Brown, first 4 years, which they normally give them 2 4 years tenure. Donna Parchment Brown tenure came to an end on the 16th of March, the 16th of November, I think 2022, Carlos. And when Miss Parchment Brown tenure came to an end, Holness refused to appoint her to the office and just left the office just there like that. Just before the election, we saw Andrew Holness went into Parliament in a dead of night legislation, Miranda rather, to change, to merge the office of the Electoral Commission and the office of the political ombudsman in together, in which the office of the director of election was already in Andrew Holness's office. So now you have two independent organizations, one which regulates your election, the Electoral Commission of Jamaica. The other, the Office of the Political Ombudsman, which investigates politicians and public bodies and public officials. Two separate bodies doing two different things. Your Prime Minister take a legislation to Parliament in a matter of hours and ram those two together and change it. Danny Rankin. Again, your Prime Minister took a legislation in the dead of night that caused this debacle of the ruling yesterday that is spiraling into a constitutional crisis, where the government amend the legislation to keep Paula Llwellyn there unconstitutionally. And the court is saying, no, not so. Yes, Noel, because the stay of execution where them are talk about don't apply to declaration. What the court made here in this ruling, it's a declaration declaring the status and the proper approach of the law. So those stay of execution don't apply to those. This is just the dunceness, the regular dunceness coming out from the Jamaica Labour Party. It's just a whole rafter of misinformation coming out of the Jamaica Labour Party. People, please continue to vote in the poll. Please continue voting, please. My mouse is dying. Hold on there. But everything, where them get caught out on the back foot, them treat it with silence as if because they are silent, then we must just walk away and shut up. Go back again. Remember, this government was challenged and its use, its unconstitutional use of ZOZOs and state of emergency. A crime plan that this government has used, a violation of your constitution that this government has used as a crime fighting mechanism over their tenure. You see why the PSOJ would hitch up more to the Labour Party. Yeah? The the Labour Party, remember the Labour Party is a capitalist party. And the PSOJ is there to suck the lifeblood out of the people through their economy. So this is why you see the PSOJ would closely align to the Jamaica Labour Party, because the Jamaica Labour Party, their job is, as a capitalist, is to look out for investors, because as so they make them money out of them investors and them something. Clive Miller, Mama Nita, Country Girl, good morning, how are you? Good morning and welcome. My T. Campbell, good morning. Good morning and welcome. But the people of Jamaica don't think they have a duty. This is not about the opposition, you know, Jamaicans. This is not about the opposition. This is about all of us. It's all of us rights that are being trampled over. It's all of us good governance process, Carl Roberts, that is being trampled over. This government also in the Westminster system, because when it suits Andrew like to quote the Westminster system. In the Westminster system, committees are the scrutinizing body of legislation in both houses. After the legislation goes, after the bill, the reading of the bill goes through the House, it goes to the committees for scrutiny. Committees are headed in the Westminster conventional practice, Patricia Williams. Committees are headed by the opposition party or sometime backbench rebel of the government, but not somebody aligned and affiliated closely with the government agenda. It is Andrew Holness that changes that in your parliament by removing that and putting his JLP cronies at the head of committees that are meant to scrutinize what the government does. That's that's what the committees are there for, to scrutinize the government. But nothing works in our system. And they continue to refer to the Westminster system. Okay, Speaker of the House. In the Westminster system, when whether be Labour or Conservative wins, yes, it is the ruling party that chooses a Speaker of the House. But what happens in the Westminster system? Immediately, you're chosen as Speaker of the House. You have to resign from your constituency seat and force a by-election. And even though with your party political affiliation, you sit on that chair as an independent, person, an independent referee, but not so in the Jamaican system, which continuously, Paula Shelley, referred to the Westminster system. In the Westminster system, even if such a ruling came down yesterday, and the government is going to challenge the ruling, for the integrity of the office, the current DPP, as the court ruled unconstitutionally, would have to step aside while this debacle unfolds. But not hanging on in there tainting further the integrity of the office. Paula Llwellyn has lost it. And when I said Paula Llwellyn has lost it, I mean she has lost it. This year, 1 year, this is why we need a whole heap of tool. Because Nigel, they're behind something where him can't see we can't see him can't hear we can't hear him. Him can't see we can't see him can't hear we can't hear him. But the country are run Pambara and trust. Is it not? If our budget was not legally done, and lice head Nigel will come a parliament come catch lice. Nigel will come to school with your clean hair and come sit down side and get a picnic with them lice, Nigel Clark. See that? So I have no doubt in time, Miss Dana Morris Dixon, that you are going to catch lice too. Because when you not come good perspective and shiny, we know not normally broke out in a lice halfway down the road. But on a serious note, though, people, this crisis cannot continue. We already have a huge backlog in our court system, especially in our criminal justice system. And for the DPP to draw the country into a tug of war, putting prosecution on hold, putting the criminal justice system on hold, bringing the criminal justice system into disrepute, save the integrity of the office, Paula. We know at this point, Miss Llwellyn, that you no matter. We know, Miss Llwellyn, it's hard, very hard, to fight with pig in a mud. We need rope too, because we need to draw the pig out of the mud if we're going to tackle the pig. We can't tackle the pig with mud there and win. It as long as especially wet mud, it will be a sure loss. So we need rope as well. We need rope because we're going to have to tie the pig, draw the pig out of the mud, Dolores slogan. And then we try to fight the pig outside of the mud. But sure as night follow day, as long as in the mud you tackle the pig, it is a sure loss. What will it be Monday morning? Will it be a standoff catastrophe? Or will the American pit bull in lipstick walk gracefully? And a Paula one we want to walk neither. The turbot must go. In a few fishing region, that would be what you call tobacco turbot. The Office of the Director of Public Prosecution and the Constitutional Office of the Speaker of the House, both constitutional office, are in disrepute at the moment. These are your legislative and prosecutorial offices, as said by your constitution. Don't you all see the crisis unfolding around you and in front of you, Jamaicans? Are you going to wait until you completely lose your rights to start stand up for it? Let's remind you of what is to come, because I do also believe there is a looming riot in the Jamaica Labour Party. But after we return from Cliff, we're going to push fire in the Labour camp.
Prime Minister has indicated to a number of persons, including members of his, that changes are coming. Changes, I gather, he has indicated, are coming following the party's failure to win the local government elections 6 weeks ago. I gather he told members of the Jamaica Labour Party Standing Committee last week, Tuesday, that the party failed and they will have to do a serious post-mortem examination as to why it failed to perform based on expectations, why it failed to hold a majority in a number of councils and got wiped out in some of them, why it failed to win the popular vote, why it lost control of the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation. And I gather, as part of the post-mortem and preparations following that performance, he has told the Labourites that changes are coming to the Labour Party as a political organization and to the government of Jamaica, which he leads. And I gather further that the party's highest decision-making body outside of its annual conference, the central executive of the governing party, that the members have been summoned to a meeting come Sunday at the party's Belmont Road headquarters. And how it is being suggested to me, the Prime Minister has indicated that based on the changes that are coming, the party will have to be apprised, and he's looking forward to their support. So the central executive has been called to a meeting on Sunday at Belmont Road in anticipation of the changes. I don't know if the changes will be announced before Sunday, during the course of this week, or after that central executive meeting. I don't know. But what is clear, the Prime Minister has made it known that political changes are coming to the government and to the party organization. And this shouldn't be a surprise. The Labour Party organization just did not fire on February 26. And for several reasons you may ask, but that's for another occasion. Time for the break.
Yes, people, welcome back to the run. Go make one coffee. Right. Any changes? Laxa Gegri, Rosalie Ricketts, Herbert Llwellyn. Any changes that the Prime Minister is hoping to make? Let us help him. Let us help the Prime Minister. Tina Moore. Where do we start in helping the Prime Minister? Right. We know we want you to go. But before you go, the light in a minute, 1 second. We know we want you gone. But before you go, there are a few things that we need you to do before you go. Right. Curly Style living life to the fullest. Good morning and welcome. Ubuntu, good morning and welcome. Michelle Johnson, good morning and welcome. Okay, let's help the Prime Minister. Yes, we want you gone. But there are some things we need you to do before you go. We want you to shuffle the cabinet first, and we want you to remove the Speaker of the House, the Minister of National Security, the Minister of Finance, the Minister of Health, the Minister of Education, the Minister of Misinformation, particularly those government ministers, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, as well as the junior minister in the Office of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade. We want all those gone in a reshuffle. Then, after those, we're giving you 3 months to position, whether it be Flight Green or someone of the lesser of the evil within the party. But let me say to you, Jamaicans, members of the Jamaica Labour Party and the Central Executive, Chris Tufton is nothing that will revive the Jamaica Labour Party. Darrell Vaz, it is nothing that will revive the slow looming death of the Jamaica Labour Party. Nestor Morgan, Red Ink, decide I'm name, Red Ink. Terry Long, caught with his pants down, criminal, liar, deceiver, charlatans and crooks and con artists. Truth matters. Good morning. Other than Floyd Green at the moment, I can barely find anyone, Rhoda Crawford, but you're going to lose your seat because Juliet tell Andrew, Abina Sarkodie. Juliet tell Andrew said, not 1 penny spent in Rhoda constituency for the local government election. So therefore, Rhoda lose all our coats to them. So you know our seat is a sure gone. She seemed clean. Corencia Morrison. I wonder if we couldn't vet her to put her up there. But we have to look for the one them where they don't have crime under them belt. So far, the only crime we know for Floyd Green. And they look up pretty boy, high school boy, show off what them do it with in a COVID, and him they take responsibility for it. Responsibility with the speaker, the host, not even take at the moment to withdraw the letter and apologize. So there are certain pigs that you can take out of the hog pen, lead them away from the mud, wash them off, and keep them, try your best, keep them from the mud. Corencia Morrison, Rhoda Crawford, who else? Come on and help me, man. Who else did where we can take out of the mud and wash off? Because the whole of them in a mud, you know. The whole of them in a mud. Michelle Charles a thief. Oh, the whole of Pernell Charles let them figure. The whole of Pernell Charles thiefing let them figure. Real black woman, how are you? Florence Hamilton. Who you say is a child molester, real black woman? We're trying to see who we can take up and wash off. Corencia, Rhoda. Who else we can find over there for wash off? Wanna help me, no man? Somebody be over there. Don't tell me, say. All right, read black woman. Really? You have to go digging at him. Send me where you know. But then again, no, remember somebody talk about Me don't know if I children, but me know say him I use. I did spoke about this in the election. Him I use the laptop galangin. This is why me did ask him before the local election. Any of this laptop have to do with the COVID laptop, the laptop that you're looking to me call currency already, Carlos. The laptop them where I use for solicit sex from young girls in Black River and across St. Elizabeth. Yes, I did spoke about that issue on here before. What I don't know though, if those young ladies where I use the laptop galangin for solicit sex from them if they're underage. That I don't know. But I dealt with that story before where he's soliciting sex from young girls in Black River and the Southwest St. Elizabeth constituency using laptop to do it. So Carencia Rhoda, who else? That way we can pick up and wash off. Because we can't wash off none of the Pernell Charles. Pernell Charles Pickney them a downright hereditary thief. Thief in a Pernell Charles Pickney them blood. So the Charles them right off. Tova Hamilton. Want to know about that thief there? Because the whole of them are criminal, you know. So Carencia Rhoda, we can wash off liquor mud off a flight. We don't know how much mud. We can wash off of him. But to the Jamaica Labour Party and the Central Executive, Winnie Madea, good Mehdi, I think, good morning and welcome. The Andrew Holness regime, come here, Jamaica Labour Party, may talk about membership, may talk about delegates, I'm talking about MPs, I'm talking about councillors, I'm talking about the central executive team of the Jamaica Labour Party, the whole calamity honor, come here. No, Ed Bartlett. Ed Bartlett can't go there. Ed Bartlett a criminal. Ed Bartlett send Delano and him police them. Send the police them go mash up down a White River. Then send Delano go turn up in front of the camera and tell Crystal Lee, I don't know who that one there, you know. In front, then send Delano go turn up in front of the camera, go tell the people them say, because all heap of criminal activity are happening down the why they have to move in with the police and dismantle the people them rat. Then Delano Steve Wright go pan phone, go tell Andre, say, Andre, the people them make money and them now do nothing with it. So we have to, I when did call the word reset. We have to reset the community tourism galangin. Because the people, them Ed Bartlett not qualify. Ed Bartlett a criminal. Ed Bartlett a go come mash up with style and take away with things. Them go dash way. Give him dirty friend them have. No. Who else? Charles them a criminal. The Charles them rule out already. Michelle Charles and Pernell Charles are criminal. Pernell Charles need to be reshuffled in the cabinet. Crystal Lee from the Brasco family. Brasco Lee family. What you say? You don't think Crystal Lee is so bad? Real black woman. Is that what you're saying? But at the moment, we can't find 3 women. We can barely find a man because Floyd don't clean. Floyd Green is the only man we think could recommend now. But we all know Floyd Green have weight on his shoulder as well. Yeah, man, Ed Bartlett must go home. Go on, run fast. You can't help me find another man over the JLP. I saw it turn bad over there. No, man. But let me say to the Jamaica Labour Party, the whole I know what I call it, not reach yet. The Andrew Holness-led regime is a sinking ship. There is no doubt about it that is going down. Not stern word, bow words. Whole house need to go. May I tell you, I threw that cesspool over there. But the Andrew Holness regime is going down the Swanee fast as ever. Given the result coming out of the local government election and the unfolding debacles on many other fronts, this is like a war and different fronts are opening, but jawbreak. The world is still holding their breath because Israel yesterday struck back at Iran, and this could open the gate for a major flare. And if a major flare happens, gas and oil price will hike with the stifling of the movement of gas and oil in such a oil-heavy, oil-rich region. So, make we keep our ears and one eye a look over this so can know say the world is a ball, and if you take the hammer and knock it, the whole of it shake. So, make we keep an eye out on catastrophe, inflation and interest rate and everything can get higher if war broke out in an oil-rich zone. Sanctions are fling all about the place at the moment. So, it's a topsy-turvy world. Glennox, Christine Gilbert, how do you do? Let us advise you. You cannot go to sea on a sinking ship, Jamaica Labour Party. Andrew Holness has collapsed the Jamaica Labour Party. It's going to go into a worse mode than what Eddie Siaga brought it to with that scandal bag, the black scandal bag argument. Andrew and his wife overstuff and full them belly. Uno know that. We know that. Are you willing to go under with the sinking ship, or are you willing to grab a lifeboat or a life jacket and disembark? Disembarking from that ship at the moment would be to throw Andrew under the bus after a cabinet reshuffle. If he decided not to go quietly, if Andrew Holness doesn't go quietly, or if you all doesn't move Andrew Holness, the Jamaica Labour Party will be slaughtered at the next general election. Do I care about them? Hell no. What I care about is balance in our legislature. What is unfolding in our legislature and in our country since 2020 is the unbalance in the legislative structure, where a tyrannical government have an unfettered legislative power and does wield it against the nation willy-nilly. And even when the court ruled unconstitutional, the government still muster up its gorilla back. A bunch of charlatans and crooks, con artists and criminals is what the Jamaica Labour Party has turned into. If you want to save your political career, you need to start knifing Andrew in his back. All of you. All of you who've got political ambitions. The knife needs to pierce Andrew at this point. You will need a year, whichever one of you will be taking over the helm of the party. You will need at least a year to get your foot or feet on the ground and start to rebuilding what is left of the credibility of the party, if there's anything left by the time that couple finish with it. So after this weekend meeting, and if you all don't make a move on Andrew Holness, then there are many of you that will be going down with him. What are my concerns? My concerns are having a balance in our legislature. I do not want to see the People's National Party have a 40th seat in our parliament. I do not support that for any party. That is so much of a slippery slope that your country can slip from so-called democracy into authoritarianism and dictatorship. At all time in your parliament, regardless of your political affiliation, there must be a balance in the legislature where both sides, the government and the opposition, must come to some consensus when legislating. Christopher, how are you doing? It is what is unfolding at the moment, what the court has ruled against recently, the unfettered power of the government legislative arm that can wield any nonsense through parliament to get its way, and is also willing to disobey or have disregard to a decision, a clarifying decision, or a declaratory decision of the court. Do you all see where it's going? How America don't see this? One eye Enos America. One eye Enos America. How come you don't see the constitutional crisis? You are fully aware, America, of the crisis in crime. You are fully aware of the crisis in our health care. How one eye America can see this? Evan Green, how you do? Matthew Samoda, no, Matthew Samoda can't, because Matthew Samoda is in the Senate. To become a member of a political party as it stands in the system we operate, then you need to be. Oh, Matthew, no, man, Matthew, the son, isn't it? No, the son is in the Senate. You have to be a member of the representative to become a leader of the party. That's my understanding. So Matthew Samoda, but Matthew Samoda a liar too. Would even more put up him father Carl Samoda than him, to be honest. Because Carl Samoda is the only one on the Labour benches that I saw react to Andrew when Andrew was meddling with the Constitution by lumping the Electoral Commission of Jamaica and the Office of the Political Ombudsman together. Some would have even referred the father more than him. We don't know about Carl Samoda. Beat and teach. What you know about Carl Samoda? We can't wash off the mother for him. In beat and teach. Or anybody over there know. But the thing, the mud can wash off a Carl Samoda, but certainly not Matthew. Truth matters, she thinks so. Curly style, I said no. Who else do you think we can wash mud off of? Because literally, somebody has to replace Andrew. It is a serious ask here. It may sound like we're being joking and trivial, but it is really a serious ask. With all of how the whole of them behave in the Andrew camp at the moment, we have to seriously ask which one of them is worthy to lead the party and could become another prime minister for our country. It's a serious ask. Rochelle Williams, how you do? So Michelle Johnson, I say you think we can wash off the father Samuda, Carl Samuda. Stronger together, what go on, boss? Would they look for see which Labour politician we can take out of the pig pen, scrub the mud off of them, draw them away from the mud to replace Andrew, because Andrew is a sinking ship. Andrew have to go. Sorry. If there are any political strategies, no man, Warmington a dead meat. We don't go need to put him where John Crook can find him. Warmington we just need to put where John Crook can find him. Warmington may not have a lot of ruckus and them belt, but would you want that prime minister to be talking to you? Would you want that prime minister at your dispatch box? Thank you very much, Stronger Together. Thank you very much. No, sir, not Warmington. Well, we don't just lay him out where John Crook can find him. Hugh Richards, how you do? It is serious. Who do we use to replace Andrew Holness? Simple Girl, good morning. Who do we use to replace Andrew Holness? Pauline Dixie. Somebody have to replace him. This is the problem in the Labour Party at the moment. Who is there that could even galvanize the Labour Party, the Labour base, where Andrew said never come out where they in them local government election? It is a serious question. Otherwise, it's a martyrdom going forward, Colleen Jones. No, Darrell Vaz. Hold on. Don't want Darrell Vaz. No, so Darrell Vaz, they're a criminal. The Vaz is them. No, they're not needed. Them Anna Dunce, Darrell a criminal. So, half the time, I'm not here what we say, no, and deaf like, but half the time, I'm not here what we say. Don't even think our hearing aid them are work good anymore. So, unruled out. We ruled out unpan deafness. Tariq Antonio, how are you? Andrew Holmes must go, Gillette must go, Nigel must go, Paula must go, Chang must go to, Tufton must go, Faval must go, the whole of the big thief them. We'll push broom all of the big thief them out of the hog pen. But the problem is, who becomes the guardian of the hog pen? It's a serious question. We're contemplating Currency Morrison. We're contemplating Rhoda Crawford. We can barely find anybody upon the man's side where so we don't know if we can take up Floyd Green and wash the dirt and the ag shit that will stick up all over him. Jamaican TV, how you do? Tony Duncan, morning. But it really, it really is a crisis unfolding in our country. Dan Campbell, Wagwan family, all right? It is really a crisis unfolding in our country. Who? No, sir, that two duds. Cockburn Flynn? No, not at all. Personified dunceness? No, sir. No. We will settle for Currency Morrison and Rhoda Crawford. Nobody know nothing but what the other one did. One say the other one named Miss Lee. What the other one in the Labour one say Miss Lee, where possible can put up there as well. Well, I was thinking as well, upon a man them side, Christopher, Slide Green is the only one dead where we can wash like a mud off. Liberate Piet Wagwan. Who else did it where we can take Crystal Lee? I've been a Sadoka says Crystal Lee. So Crystal Lee, Carencia Morrison, and Rhoda Crawford. We can find 3 women. We barely can find a man. Fly Green is the only we can think of. I'm also thinking of Delroy. Not talk about the frog face man. What the man when we talk about the father Samuda. I'm thinking about Carl Samuda. Done it. Good morning. Simple girl, if that is so, prepare for the breakaway in the Labour Party. Because them no fool, political strategists over there. Ivan Bradford, Albert C. People with ambition, political ambition to become leader of the Jamaica Labour Party over there. And the trajectory is, Andrew is a sitting duck. Going into a general election with Andrew, it's a certain onslaught at the polls next September. Unless they prepare to go down with the sinking ship. But otherwise, in any political party, this is where the rebellion would start, because people are looking to save their political life and their political ambition, not the political life and political ambition of a leader who fully in belly, stuffing crocus bag, tying pants foot them, stuff everything down in pants waist, him wife tie our belt tight and impact everything in a bosom and belly. So they know, unless the gravy chain sweet them. Markland Fagan, good morning. Evan Bradford, Ubuntu. Unless the gravy chain sweet them, and them decide, say, you know what? By the time it all come to a collapse, so we craft full, we can go sit down and rest and don't give a two hoots. Beat and teach. You just have come. What we there try to do beat and teach is find a replacement for Andrew in the Labour Party. We look at the woman them, we try Carencia, Rhoda, and Crystal Lee. But when we look on the man them side beat and teach, it's hard. Carl Samuda is one we may think of. Clyde Green, as much as he have mud and hog shit wrap up in him hair and eyelash, I'm thinking we can wash off Clyde. But really beat and teach, who else as the man them over there what we can really use to replace Andrew? You have any suggestion? Can we stuck a whole heap of we there and we stuck? Who's the deputy speaker of the house? What him name? But him look hypocritical just like a Jonathan Andrew. What the boy the name? Well, Albert, see, that is something seriously to look into. Because I'm always of the view that a third party is necessary because there is a 70%. What kind of Mr. Portland you, Raymond? No, sir. Them the thief and criminal there. The Daryl complaint gone at we have time use money pay for we. No. See, Albert has a sumo that is a criminal. Lord Jesus. So, we have struggled. We have struggled this morning. Well, it is a question who will be the next opposition leader at the next general election. It will be certainly the Labour Party will be in position, but who will be leading the Labour Party is the question. Or is Andrew waiting until he's savagely whooped at the polls by Mark Golden in the general election before he resigns and hand a dead party, a stagnant dead party, over to one of them to stay in the shadows for another 18 years plus? Because the direction Andrew is taking the Jamaica Labour Party, they are going to be out in the wilderness for quite some time. They are going to be out in the wilderness for quite some time if hastily changes is not done in the Jamaica Labour Party sooner rather than later. A cabinet change, a change of leadership, and try to revive the party to meet the onslaught come next September. None of you have any question for you ask me? I remember say Saturday, John Crono work on Saturday around here. Boy, it's tough. We can't find a clean man over the Labour camp to wash off. We may have to go circle for slide with the ag shit and the mud in eyelash. We may just have to circle for that because we can't find nobody else. Next thing you go hear say, James Roberts pull out gun and point gun after we and tell we what to take off and when to put on. Who else can we find in the JLP camp to replace Andrew Holness? Because Andrew Holness days are over. And to save a legislative balance in our country, the Jamaica Labour Party will need to repair themselves to a degree. What I do not want to see ever in our country again is one side of the legislature hold all the legislative power in our legislative chambers. It is very, very, very dangerous. You can just slip into democracy, out of democracy, into authoritarianism, just like that. So it's stronger together, so we can't work with green. What a calamity. The whole of them quiet, simple girl is not just the prime minister, is the entire JLP camp is so quiet. Nobody don't know what they say. Usually, yeah, in the Westminster system, they have what is called the Lord Chancellor. That person, if judges are under attack in the public, those person, the head of the Justice Ministry or the Lord Chancellor, are the ones who come out to defend judges in public and in media, because judges are not allowed to respond to criticism. But to see the Department of Justice in a court ruling going after the judges, this is another unheard of. Me here say Transport Minister cuss out the Finance Minister and call him fussy hole, bangarang. Because you know, say always riot over this. So, you know, at tomorrow at the meeting at Central Belmont Road, Beat and Teach, because that is going to be riotous. That meeting where Andrew plan for revamp or whatever the party at Cableland. Cableland, good morning, good morning. Therefore, that meeting tomorrow is going to be riotous. It is going to be riotous tomorrow. After that meeting tomorrow, you could see subtle. There's a Belmont Road tumble down tomorrow. You see, after that meeting tomorrow, if Andrew Holness don't tell them what they want and give them what they want, you're going to see a subtle rebellion. You're going to see a subtle rebellion start, where some things may start published in the media, where people may start leak, people may start brief against. So therefore, after tomorrow, look out for what is to unfold in our parliament. It is going to go down. Me not ask you no. May I tell you, it is going to go down. It is going to go down. So may I tell you now, prepare for after Belmont Road tomorrow. After that, we're going to see if Andrew don't give them what they want, what will unfold. Even riotous mean wild, uncontrollable behavior. And Everal Warmington alone can turn a meeting riotous. You don't need more than Everal Warmington to turn anything into a riot. Andrea Samuels, good morning and welcome. Everal Warmington alone. So as long as Everal Warmington did it, riot can break out. But it will be an unruly situation. You can also use unruly, the popcorn word, for riotous as well. It's going to be an unruly situation at that meeting. And if Andrew don't give them what they want, the transport minister, remember the transport minister, you know, when Darrell came to Partner Draw TV last year, Sean Hall, good morning. Darrell came because, remember, Andrew couldn't stop him because he saw Andrew behavior across the country as becoming a threat to his constituency. So that's why last year, 2022, but when Darrell Vaz, I think it was late 2020, I don't remember, but when Darrell Vaz came to Partner Draw was for that specific reason, because of Andrew Holness, his Norman Dunn, Christine Gilbert, mine will start tear out with head and ball. Woman here there.
Murder to blood clot, people.
Christine Gilbert, you don't hear when Norman Dunn do it with there. Huh?
Murder to blood clot, people.
You don't hear say we are pay Norman Dunn to put up Duppy for with Christine. No, sir. It will be worse than Andrew. We are paying Norman Dunn to host Duppy. No, Christine. No, not done. The whole of our packet would have done. If we pay him, we keep Duppy as just an MP. If we pay Dunn for store Duppy. No, Christine. No, Tufton, no Dunn. I kill you one, them kill we have and go put with on an archer. No, son, them something there. When I hear the Minister of Justice speak, I completely understand those who say Law is a difficult course to fail. All right, you're still with law, yeah? And this is the beauty of law as opposed to different areas of study. In law, you're not required to provide an answer. That is that is why we're all over. It is a beautiful subject. If you love contention, if you love chatting, it is a beautiful subject. But at law school, none of us is required to provide a correct answer. What you're required to do is, after arguing the law and facts, you provide a good argument. So this is why you see lots of us have different opinion and interpretation of the law. It's how we were taught at law school. It's about your understanding and opinion of the law meddled with the facts. Of course, though, there are general principles and so on within law that we are aware of, accept, and understand. But if you're studying law, you have to have time and you have to be able to think. Don't talk about the box. Forget about the box when you're thinking in law. You just have to leave the box and just think. It is a beautiful, important subject to study if you have the time. But if you don't have true love and God in your heart, it's highly likely that you may end up becoming a crook, especially if you head to the practicing bar and politics. Crookedness is a high certainty, but it is a beautiful subject to study because it gives you understanding of the entire structure of how a country is set up and run. It gives you understanding of how different systems and organization is set up and run, especially for my master's degree specialist. I was doing international and business financial law, but it's to look at all these regulatory framework from the UN come all the way down, or the structure of another country, how country attain them statehood. It's a beauty to study. When you study the law, it open you up, especially me who I did a lot of areas. I studied about 17 different areas of law. So it is a broad spectrum. And when you're doing that also, law pushes you to go and want to understand everything, a lot of other things such as the finance and economic structure, as well as the politically scientific structure as well. So it is a beautiful subject to study. It is a beautiful subject to study, but you have to be able to leave the box out there. Don't entertain the let's think out of the box. No, drop the bloody old box. It's wet. It's wet and messy. Drop the box. Just think. Angela Musiden, good morning and welcome. Thank you all for joining us. If you're going to choose any of those names mentioned, keep Andrew. They are all the same. Then Monica, what you're saying then is calamity plus tax. You're saying here is calamity plus tax. Oh, sure. Don't, when you're hearing people come out and misrepresent the truth and the facts, not negotiate, it's all deliberate. And for those of you who just arrived, I'm going to tackle the Gleaner again. The Gleaner, in their article they put out yesterday with this headline, court ruling doesn't remove current AG. My question to the Gleaner, Jackie Rockwood, Carla Hayes. My question to the Gleaner, why did you put this publication out with Derek McCoy's photograph when those words written in the article, every reference in the article was based on what Delroy Chuck said yesterday after the ruling? And you publish an article with regards to that. But rather than putting Delroy Chuck, the dunce, inept, frog-faced Delroy Chuck photograph in the article as true representation of who utter those bullcrap, you went and you put Derek McCoy's photograph. But when it comes to Derek McCoy's advice to the government, no one tell we wait be. But una come make it look like yesterday Derek McCoy is against this latest ruling. Let Derek McCoy come out and tell us. Don't put up Derek McCoy picture smearing him, Robert Ford, as if what Dunce Delroy Chuck said yesterday was said by Mr. McCoy. It's misleading, Gleaner, and it's a deliberate mislead. There was no accident here. There was no accident here. Almighty God, we are going to end the show and we can't find a replacement for Andrew. This is a crisis in itself. Another crisis to unfold. We cannot find a replacement leader for a sitting duck. And what else are we doing in a constitutional crisis? Which part of our constitution? Which part of our constitution under this regime is making sense other than the judiciary? The charlatans of our parliament. The charlatans of our parliament. The con artists of our parliament. Heroy Clark, Deputy Speaker. Well, you think him clean enough? You know of no mud? Where they pan him, we're going to need wire brush for scrub off, beat and teach? Because him seem to follow Juliet book, when Juliet want to run from accountability upon the chair, you notice she run off and put what you saying name? Heroy or whatever, Clark. You sure? Beat and teach, yes, she is not represented. Okay. You sure, beat and teach? You sure he can clean up? We can dry him out of the hog pen, wash off the mud and keep him out of the hog pen. Do you think so? He's a first-time MP. But Juliet, when him come in 2020 or 2016, Noel Thomas, how are you? 2020 or 2016, how about Ardley Shaw? Ardley Shaw, I don't think Ardley Shaw have no ideas left for me want to listen to be honest. John Pugh, how are you? I don't think Ardley Shaw have no idea left what me really want to listen to. 2020. Okay, maybe we can scrub like a mother off of him. So me could put Carl Samoda, but somebody say Carl Samoda a criminal. We were planning to put in Flight as well and see how much me could see how much of the mud we can rub out time eyelash. Yeah, Manayard is retiring, so definitely, I am retired or not. Me not think Shaw would have no idea what me want to hear right now. We stuck, Oh God, Labour Party stuck. Richard Foster, how are you? So no mean to say we can't find no. So we have to keep Floyd, Heroy, Tova Hamilton. No, me not put Tova. Rhoda Crawford and Currency and Morrison. But the central executive, and them are going to tell you, say, those people don't have the popularity to become leader of the Jamaica Labour Party. Annette Myrie, how are you? None of them is eligible. Annette says. Isn't Slide an abuser? Rena says. We spoke about that earlier, Rena, because Real Black Woman raised it as well. And I remember during the election campaign, I asked him the question, the laptops that you're using to solicit sex from young girls in Black River and in the Southwest St. Elizabeth constituent. No, Colonel Charles Jr., Colonel Charles Stephen Pickney, them beat and teacher. What happened to you? Colonel Charles Stephen Pickney, them what thief off the whole of St. Thomas land go about them business. I was asking Green the question during the local government election campaign. The laptops you're using to solicit sex from young girls in Black River and the Southwest St. Elizabeth constituency, or those laptops Abin Hill, they don't know, sir, and then Abin Hill is a senator in it, so no man. Remember Abin Hill dons, you know? Good dons, qualified pan paper dons. So no. I want me there to say again, Sandra, good morning. There is nothing there. Flyd and Hira, we have to go wash like a mud, scrub down Flyd with wire brush and push broom. Hira, we don't know much about him yet because you know, say whole of them fan they get there. And as long as them are Andrew crony, them are going to get in at the thieving and the lying and the corruption. But we're stuck. We're stuck. Yes, maybe I asked Flyd Green if those laptops that he's using to solicit sex from young girls, if those laptops have anything to do with the COVID laptops. What I do not know though are the age of those young girls that it is said that Mr. Green is using laptop to solicit sex from. I did ask him that during the local government campaign. As somebody be? Nobody take up the mantle and run with it. All of them steal and stain. It bad JLP. But one thing I can tell you for sure, going into a general election with Andrew Holness is a sure onslaught for the People's National, for the Jamaica Labour Party. It will be a sure onslaught because what has happened V on Wholeness, good evening and welcome. Good morning, rather. What has happened without being able to find a replacement for Andrew? It means that the Labour Party is on a slow death. What happened out of the local government election? The budget, the Curtis Speaker roar, lying about the two reports and try to brand Mark Golding as a liar, and then they were all exposed in public. The recent ruling from the court and the deafness to the ruling from the court, the standoff or the standstill or the collapse to our criminal justice system, where we don't know the fate of our criminal courts across the country come Monday morning. Almighty God, they can't get worse than yasso. If we get worse than yasso, might as well we pack we bag and go find the worst dictatorship and go sit down and wait for we turn. But it can't get worse than yasso. Thank you very much for being here with us on a Saturday morning, where we not turn out here so long without a 2 hour now a chat Let me see how much I like the live so I can get a good quarrel before me go in. When you not do too bad, but you still can do better. When you can take the like up to 300, it wouldn't hurt on a fingernail one bit if you take the live up to 300. Not one bit it would ever hurt your fingernail. So just take the likes up to 300, please. Trust me, not hurt your fingernail. Just hit the like button. Just hit the like button. Over on Global TV Studio, there's 63 of you. Hit the like button, please. Producer Wayne Global TV, there's 380 of you. Hit the like button, please. GTV 385, there's 2 of you. Hit the like button, please. That's the support we are asking for on this platform. Like and share, because we are here to conversate with you, for all of us to think together, to share information with you. And believe me, sometimes it's pressuring to sit down and read and choose what article to bring to you or what clips will unfold out there to bring to you. It's not just turn on your camera and go sit down and chat. When you see me out here chat for so long, it means that I have read and I have prepared a script in my head so I can sit down and talk to you for an hour straight or 2 hours with little disturbance. Raja Wagwan, you just come when me are done. Nisi One Love, good morning and welcome. So when you not see me out here, me not just come sit down and chat. I did a whole lot of reading before that. And me sit down and me create in my head how me I go present the program to you, and me flow freely when me come. So it's hard work behind the scene. Appreciate it by hitting the like button. Appreciate it by sharing the live link to your WhatsApp group, your friends and family, and your social media pages. Delroy Henry Wagwan. Them know me not out here on Saturday morning and them see me come and them don't even want to hit the like button. No, man. I don't know Saturday I'm sleeping there. Me lay down and sleep. Wicked as them be the Adventist blood still in me. But we never just do nothing on Saturday other than go to church, go tell lie and give away money. So, when you come see me on Saturday, you know say me I go quarrel over the little likes. So just hit the like button. Thank you all very much for being here with me this morning on a Saturday on the Global TV channels. I really appreciate your support to the Global TV group. Thank you all. Okay, did I work? Thank you all very much for your support. Let's look at the poll. In our polls, we asked the question, will Paula go quietly? 457 of you voted. 28% of you said yes, she will go quietly. 43% of you said no, she will not go quietly. And 29% of you said we will have to drag her kicking and screaming. Thank you very much for being here with us on Global Television this morning. We really appreciate your support on the Global TV group. Thank you very much. Have a lovely weekend. And if we don't see you Sunday evening, we will definitely see you Monday morning. But if further news breaks and the DPP grow shame overnight, If shame reign and drop on the DPP, and the DPP decide to pack her crocus bag and walk on, then we shall certainly run out for another celebratory mood. But for now, enjoy your weekend, and thank you very much, and walk good, all my globalists. See you soon. Good morning from Global Television.